Yeah. I like the fastest way is like this for me.
But
in sprint.
is doing
Yeah.
first this,
Yeah.
then
That everybody has something to work with. So I can look for 10 problems if I want, but I have to take one step at a time. Otherwise, I think I talk too much to them and give them too much to think. But she's also a little bit of a beginner to do this. But she does a lot very good. So I can go in later and I don't shout and I don't complain. Just see how I can increase it. Now she's going to do this that you do, one leg acceleration, and the fastest way, going faster and faster, and when the technique is getting bad, just quit. Don't go over and let them do like this in the end, kicking football or something. Just stop the moves. She can go a little bit quicker, it's no big problem. She can work a lot more with her arms, can do a lot of things better, but I think we have time. Every year we can increase something. If I can be patient, I don't know. But she's very good at the active foot. She's there, directly. Lite. Ska köra en rätt så snabbt. Sometimes I do 1-2 times a week very explosive knee lifts. Not so far, maybe 15 meters. But we try to do them very explosive. You can almost hear if it's explosive or not, just by listening to the foot when it's hitting the track. Some people can be extremely good at this and do it very fast and very explosive. Now she's going to do maybe the difficultest way when you probably use going by the vänster höger steg in. Impulse, 3 steps, left, right. And if you do it with too much speed in the beginning, it's going to be a very bad technique. And you're going to maybe learn them the wrong way. So you really have to take it easy in the beginning. Now she has done it a little bit more, but this is a fast way to go. You know it, you've seen it, but the technique has to be very good. And the knee lift can be higher, she can go quicker. But if she starts to kicking out, then it's no good for me. Like kicking a football, I say. And a lot of people who start or come from it, they have almost those techniques, go up there and they kick. So after 8, 9 of those, they get pretty warm up. So we can start taking some acceleration and everything. And after a while, they are ready to do the training. Questions? Something you?
This is typical warm-up.
Yeah, typical warm-up for me. To work a lot with the technique.
So before that, she came from jogging and maybe some those
Dynamic.
pendulums.
Yeah, the old ones. No stretching, nothing else. Because if you get really good at the dynamic moves, it's very good for the body. And it's increasing the stretch and the moves. And if Isa can learn to go a little bit faster and a little bit more high knees, I think she's going to run fast in 200 meters.
But you never start directly with these movements. You never start the practice directly.
No.
Always some.
I'll always warm up, jog and do dynamic and everything. But then you can start with a lower speed that you do. And then I go over, I don't start jumping directly. I do more knee lift, one leg or something, and then we go over to these overlaps that I think help them a lot to understand the way that they have to go, the fastest way. Because if they're not going the fastest way, when you're going from one moment to another, or not one move to another, it gets a very bad technique. And I think you can learn to see that very quickly, and just do this, take it easy, go the fastest way, look at your body. I mean, if you have someone who's leaning too much forward, looking down, just talk to them. Look up, be straight. If the over body is like this, then you have the hip with you. If it's not, then you're going to maybe have very difficult to have the hip with you if you're running like this. So it's a lot of force to get there from the hip. So you have the right position. If you don't have the right position, it will be a little bit harder to get this power that they need. They really want to go forward. Sometimes, like I said, Isabel goes too much the force up because she has been running a lot of hurdles. Then it's difficult to think that now we're going to sprint, you have to go forward. So you have to lean your body a little bit way. You cannot run like this. You have to go forward to get more power. So the chin is very important then. Look at your people when you train them. Where do they have the chin? Har vi någon mer som du tycker vi behöver visa? I got this if anybody wants to have a paper, I think I can manage. But this is 4 times in the week. All the time, be there, look, try to help them. This is what I enjoy most, to be standing here and work with them in this way. Not theoretical or something else. So this is the place I like to be here. And what you have here in Finland, we don't have anything like this. We don't have nothing like you have 330 meters round. We have only 200 meters round. That's what we are surviving. We want to have this, but just waiting. We want the 400-meter track inside. We could never, I think, work with the football because the football is more important. So it's a little bit hard. Sometimes when we train, we have a lot of kids. So sometimes, 3 times I get people injured because of the children out playing on the tracks. I think it's better now, but it's also a big problem. And it's not so nice when Neil and coming in high speed and is going to run into a little child. Could be not so good for a child, and he's also get injured. Almost, I think 3 times ago the hamstrings got cramped because they have to stop and jump and turn 90 degrees to the left or right. So that's always a problem when you come to Busan or something. But now we can train in Sätra, then we can go there a little bit earlier, and we are, it's only we and a couple of other people training. And that's very important when you have people in high level. So this is what I work with. It's the same, I can do a lot of things like it, but this is the technique that we're working with. And when we're going from this, now then she can almost, after a couple more races, starting the training. So I'm going to be here now, and she's going to do 180, 60, 40 today, 3 times, three series. So, did you get anything of that? Do you understand the technique, what I'm trying to increase?
Any questions? I think the message that Ronald is telling us that if you want to coach sprinters, you have to be there from the beginning and not just let them warm up by themselves, but it's the coach's job to be there right from the start. And what I have seen nowadays all around the world, this is the kind of warm-up that is really common. Everywhere people are doing these things. Of course, some variation, but mainly it is this kind of warm-ups. Nobody really anymore just jogs, do passive stretching, and then starts the training. So I think it was a good demonstration of that. And like Ronald said, that only your imagination is the boundary, that you can always find new things. And I think this is also fun for the athletes.
Yes. It's fun for the athletes.
How long did you say that you usually do these things?
I think we do this about 20, 25 minutes. And after that they are really warmed up. So, I mean, the start body is warm, we have to do some explosive moves and everything. So just a little bit running before the races. And
what about in competitions? What kind of a warm-up do you do there?
I try to tell my actives that they have to find their own way, and that they can use the things that they like to do when they're going to compete. So I'm not standing there and say, do that, or do something like everything I say. But sometimes maybe Moa says, no, I want to follow the program. Yeah, it's okay, then we follow the program with all the moves. Otherwise they can do, they're also good at it, so they can just do the things that they want, and the things that feel best for them, not for me.
Is there any difference between sprinters and 400-meter runners? Is their warm-up for the competition different anyway?
No, it's not so much. It's a little bit more running for 400-meter people in the end before the 400-meter race. But I think that's very personal. Sometimes people want to run short before 400, and some I always try to get more 150 or something before, half an hour before or something, pretty fast. But I think you have to really learn what do your athlete really want. So it's not maybe good to say you have to do a 250 and then rest 45 minutes. Maybe that's not good for her or anybody else. So they have really to feel themselves what is good for me. Because I work with seniors, maybe not a couple of juniors. So you don't tell Moa everything that she has to do.
When your athlete is not flexible or mobile enough, do you put them stretching some other time, or
yeah.
How do you check possibly mobility or flexibility?
That's what I'm leaving for the chiropractor to check. And when he thinks something is wrong, then he sends them to what you call sjukgymnaster, physiotherapist, to start make them more mobile, and they have to put some training into their bodies because they have to be stronger and everything. So that's part. It's also something that I left over. So I don't stand there trying to do everything myself. I had to use professional people at the things they are good at. I learned a lot from that. So because it's so developed, it's been so much. What do you say? It's so much more things happened the last years. It's so much moves they have to do. I mean, they can do 100 now. So it's really what Isabel in need of. What have she to do to be stronger, more stretch. And again, the hip is crucial. And the iliopsoas, you have to all the time stretch it. Then you can get down all the injuries pretty much, I think.
You have high-level athletes that are used to compete in championships, and in championships, of course, it's always you have calling maybe last half hour you can't do actually anything. So how do you teach your athletes when they go to smaller meets? Do they do the same warm-up as the major meets, or do they change it?
Yeah, the small competition they can start much later, and they can be running much closer to the competition, and maybe they do something about 50 minutes before, or maybe depends on what they want, 10 minutes before, and then rest to the starts. But when you come to big competition, you have to start much earlier to warm up. And like you say, I mean, in the last moment before the calling, they have to do some races. Maybe the last race before, 1 minute before the call, so they can go directly to the call. And then they can be sitting there for 30 minutes. So they have to find a way to move, do some explosive knee lifts and everything. And then they come out on track, and then they have to run a little bit directly. It's much waiting for the athletes in big competitions.
So why are they doing differently in small meets?
Because it's,
if the big meets they do the best results and warm up like that, why do they change it to the small meets?
I think it's more natural because it's so close. You can go so close to it. If I could do that in a competition, a big competition, I think I would do the same. Then it's up to the active. I mean, do you want to run 20 minutes the last race before the competition, or what? What's the best? That's something you have to discuss. That's something you have to feel. What is best for Isa is not best for Moa and not best for me. So everybody has to do it in that way, their own way.
Do you ever stop the training if you see when you are doing the warm up and you see from the athlete that she or he is not ready? So do you ever stop the training and say, okay, today that's enough? Yeah,
if they're tired, it's very important for coaches to talk to our actives. If Isabel comes and she has a very quality races to do on training and she hasn't slept this night, I mean, it's just to forget it. Then we can do some warm up and some other strength or something. But it doesn't give you anything to do a quality pass when they are having a headache, when they are tired and everything. So I think it's our responsibility to stop them in that.
So you think this is a good way of not only preparing them for the session, but also monitoring and seeing who's ready.
Because they're not losing anything, nothing. They're not losing nothing to have one more rest a day or something. And it's not like this. If I come and I said today I have rowed 3.300, then it's 3.300. I mean, that's crazy for me. I have to talk to my athletes and know sometimes I can put one more race, sometimes I can take away a race. And if they get very tired, but you have one more, do you think you can do one more? Yeah, but I'm very tired. Okay, instead of 5 minutes, take 8 minutes. And then they do after 8 minutes much better technique the last race. And then I'm happy. I'm not ending with a bad technique and they are so tired. So I can give them a couple of more minutes. It doesn't matter anything to me. It's the opposite. Okay, take 8 minutes, take 10 minutes, but do one more race. That's the way I'm thinking sometimes.
Any more questions? You said that you use a lot of chiropractors and physiotherapists. Do you use massage?
Yes. We have massage once a week, and it's always discussing if the massage is getting anything, but you can only ask your athletes if they are feeling happy after a massage and how they feel, and they say it's terrific, it's good, and then it's working for me. But sometimes you cannot have only one masseur. That's what I'm talking about, the Swedish national team. We can't go with only masseurs. We have to have chiropractors, naprapathy, we have to have everything if we want to be on a higher level. But it costs more to take a lot of people with you.
There's been a lot of talk, at least in Finland, about psychological coaching. Do you use any specialist, or are you the psychological coach, or
I think it's much more to me as a coach to try to find a motivation for Isa and try to talk to her. That I think that she can do this or that, and try every time to think positive. I mean, I don't think if Isa say I have to go to someone to talk, naturally it's no problem. Because if they come from themselves that they have to talk to someone, I think it's perfect. But if they don't, maybe they don't need it. But I have athletes who's gone away sometimes to talk about some mental things. I have Neil who's all the years not believing in himself. So we tried different things. Also tried hypnosis with him. It was pretty good because they can talk into when they're sleeping, and some small changes happen. But I think this cognitive psychology that we do, you have to train every day as a coach and as an athlete. They have to think positive and see what they can do, and then they can do good things. But I don't talk results, because then it's pressure on his side, it's pressure on me. Because we have a lot of talkers in the coaching area. No, Mo is going to run under 50 seconds. The journalist wants me to say, but in what position have I put myself in? And what position have I put Mo in? I mean, it's crazy for me to talk results.
You said that you are coaching maybe 20 athletes.
12.
12. Are you always together with those 12?
No.
Or do you have them in small groups?
We are not. It's not so many times all the 12 are there. So sometimes if we are 10, it could be pretty much, because you get much more. You maybe don't get the time that you want. So a lot of people don't agree that I have a big group, but I like a big group. I like a big team, because they're pulling each other. I have so many helps from guys who has been on the training and really paced Moa in 250 and 300 races. And after a while she's disappearing from them. But they have been so much help for her. And that's for everybody. Help each other, pull each other forward. So I think it's incredible with a big team. But many coaches, Kent Olsen said me many times, you have only to take three athletes, not more of them. But I can't work that way. I can't say no to people if they're not in a very low level, maybe now, because the group is pretty good.
Can you, Isa, also say something about, you have changed to Ronald's group plan, so how do you feel it? What is the best things there that you have felt compared to before?
I think the best thing is that I don't know what's going to happen on the training. With my other trainers, I had a program for every week for like 5 weeks ahead. I always knew like, oh, on Wednesday it's gonna be a really rough training, and I was like focusing. And I think it got to my head, too much pressure. Now it's like, I come to training, I have fun, I just run. And I think it's made me improve very much.
Okay, thank you. Well, if there is no no more questions, I think we give applauses to Isa and Ronald and thank you for coming. And for those coaches that need tomorrow transportation, I have here some papers that you can come and pick up when you take it tomorrow. What is your timetable? Everybody who uses this kind of, you know who you are, and come and pick the timetable. Otherwise, we go for the